In this video, I want to talk to you about something many older adults in the US go through but rarely speak about openly: losing a spouse. When the person you shared your mornings, your evenings, your memories, and your routines with is suddenly gone, life changes in ways you can't prepare for. Even if you think you're strong, even if you've lived a full life, grief can surprise you. It can take your appetite, your sleep, your motivation, and sometimes even your sense of purpose. I know many of you watching have been through this kind of loss, or you worry about what life might feel like if your partner goes first. And that fear is real. Losing a spouse isn't just an emotional event. It affects your health, your habits, and your daily decisions. That's why in this video, I'm going to share 5 important things you should never do when your spouse passes away first. Not because there's a right way or wrong way to grieve, but because these are gentle reminders that can save you from even deeper pain and loneliness. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. It helps us feel like one community here, learning together and supporting one another. And if you have any natural health tips of your own, feel free to share those too. Someone else might really benefit from hearing what's worked for you. Point 1. Don't isolate yourself. When you lose a spouse, the first instinct for many older adults is to pull away from everything and everyone. And I understand why. When your heart is hurting, the world feels too loud, too busy, too overwhelming. You might wake up and feel like you don't have the energy to talk to anyone. You might let the phone ring, ignore the doorbell, or tell your children you're just resting. And in your mind, you might think you're protecting yourself by staying alone. But the truth is, isolation doesn't protect you. It slowly breaks you down. After a loss, silence can feel comfortable at first. It feels safe. You don't have to explain how you're feeling. You don't have to pretend to be strong. You don't have to put on a smile when you feel like crying. But if that silence continues day after day, it turns into something heavier: loneliness. And loneliness, especially for seniors, is not just emotional. It affects your memory, your mood, your sleep, your appetite, even your heart health. Many older adults don't realize how quickly staying alone can pull them into depression without them even noticing. And let me say this gently. Your spouse wouldn't want you sitting alone in a quiet house all day, hurting in silence. You don't need to be cheerful. You don't need to entertain anyone. You just need human presence, someone who sits with you, talks with you, or even just shares a cup of coffee without saying much. Sometimes the smallest interaction can remind your heart that life isn't completely empty. Reach out to your children, answer a friend's call, attend a local senior group, or simply open the door when a neighbor stops by. Even if you cry the whole time, it's okay. Crying with someone is healthier than suffering alone. You don't have to talk about your grief right away. Just being with people helps your heart breathe again. And over time, those small, simple moments of connection will help you find your way back to yourself. Point 2. Don't make big decisions too quickly. When a spouse passes, the world feels unfamiliar, and the pain is so sharp that many older adults feel an urgency to fix something, anything, to make the hurt quieter. You might look around your home and feel overwhelmed by their clothes, their books, their chair, their handwriting on a grocery list. It's natural to want relief, and sometimes people think that if they change their environment, the grief will soften. But making big decisions during this fragile time can lead to regret later. In the first months after a loss, your mind isn't thinking clearly. Your emotions take the lead, and emotions, especially grief, don't make steady decisions. Some people rush to sell their home because every corner holds a memory. Others donate their spouse's belongings right away, hoping less reminders will mean less pain. Some even think about moving to a different state just to escape the emptiness. But here's the truth. The ache doesn't disappear when the belongings disappear. And if you make quick changes, you may later feel like you erased pieces of your shared story before you were ready. You don't have to do anything right away. Not one thing. Let the shirt stay in the closet a little longer. Let the book sit on the shelf. Let the house remain exactly the same until you feel steady enough to decide what you want, not what the pain wants. Give yourself time to sit with your memories instead of running from them. When your heart settles just a little, you'll notice which things bring comfort and which things you're ready to let go of. You might find that keeping a few items helps you feel connected. Or maybe you'll decide to pass down certain belongings to someone who will value them. But these choices should come from a place of calm, not confusion. There is no deadline. No rule saying you must reorganize your life immediately. Allow your emotions to settle. When the fog lifts, even just a little, you'll be able to make decisions with clarity and peace. That is how healing begins. Point 3. Don't neglect your health. After losing a spouse, many older adults stop taking care of themselves without even realizing it. Your appetite changes, your sleep becomes irregular, and the motivation to cook, take medications, or keep medical appointments slowly fades. And it's not because you don't care, it's because grief drains your energy in a way that touches every part of your life. Simple tasks start to feel heavy. Even making a sandwich can feel like too much effort on certain days. But neglecting your health is one of the most dangerous things you can do during this time. Your body is already dealing with emotional stress, and emotional stress affects blood pressure, heart rhythm, digestion, and your immune system. When you skip meals or eat very little, your strength drops. When you ignore medications, your existing conditions become unstable. And when you stop going for checkups, small problems can turn into big ones before you notice. Grief may feel emotional, but it impacts the entire body. And here's something important to remember. Your spouse didn't spend a lifetime loving you so that you would give up on yourself after they left. They would want you to stay healthy, stay steady, and stay here for the people who still need you. Your children, your grandchildren, your friends, or even the neighbor who checks on you every morning. Your presence still matters. Taking care of yourself doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. Start with small things. Eat a real breakfast, even if it's something simple like oatmeal or eggs. Drink water throughout the day. Take your medications on time. Go for a short walk outside, even if it's just to the mailbox. Fresh air and slow movement help more than you think. And make your doctor appointments part of your routine again. Tell your doctor about your loss. They understand, and they can guide you gently. Point 4. Don't forget that you still have a purpose. When a spouse passes away, many older adults feel like the meaning of their life disappears right along with them. You wake up and the house is quiet. There's no one to make coffee for, no one to share the news with, no one to remind you of appointments or laugh at the same old stories you've told for years. And slowly, a thought begins to form in the back of your mind. What am I here for now? It's a heavy feeling, and it can make the days seem long and empty. But let me tell you something that I want you to hear clearly. You are still here for a reason. Your story did not end when your spouse's did. You still have breath in your lungs, wisdom in your heart, and value in your presence. Sometimes older adults think their purpose was tied only to being a husband or a wife, and after losing that role, they feel lost. But purpose changes with time. It doesn't disappear, it shifts. Your purpose might now be something small but meaningful. Spending time with your grandchildren. Passing on stories from your life that younger generations can learn from. Being a steady voice for someone going through a hard time. Even simple acts like checking on a neighbor, volunteering once a week, or joining a community class can give your days a sense of direction again. And maybe the purpose is even more personal. Taking care of your own heart. Healing. Learning to enjoy life again in a different way. Allowing yourself to smile without guilt. Allowing yourself to build new routines, new hobbies, or new friendships. None of this means you're forgetting your spouse. Love doesn't end when life does. You carry them with you in every decision, every memory, every kind thing you do. Your spouse would want you to keep living, not just existing. They would want you to feel sunlight on your face, to laugh with people who care about you, to share your wisdom, and to discover new reasons to wake up with hope. You matter more than you think. And your life, yes, even now, still has purpose, value, and meaning. Point 5. Don't cut yourself off from new routines and small joys. One quiet truth about losing a spouse is that your whole daily rhythm disappears. Everything you used to do together, morning coffee, watching the evening news, grocery shopping on certain days, talking before bed, suddenly becomes a reminder of what's missing. And because of that, many older adults stop doing anything at all. They avoid new routines, avoid new activities, avoid new hobbies, and tell themselves, it doesn't matter anymore. But this can trap you in a cycle of sadness that gets heavier with time. After a major loss, your days may feel long and shapeless. Without structure, the mind drifts into darker places. That's why creating simple, gentle routines is so important. Routine gives the heart something steady to hold on to. It doesn't replace your spouse. Nothing ever could, but it helps your days feel less empty and more grounded. Something as small as watering your plants every morning, taking a slow walk after lunch, calling a friend once a week, or reading a chapter of a book before bed brings a sense of rhythm back into your life. And here's another important piece. Allowing yourself small moments of joy is not betrayal. Many seniors feel guilty when they catch themselves smiling at something, or enjoying a hobby, or laughing at a joke. They think, how can I feel happy when the person I loved is gone? That guilt is natural, but it isn't right. You're not replacing your spouse by living your life. You're honoring them by continuing to move forward. Try adding one gentle activity to your week, something that brings even a tiny spark of pleasure. Maybe a short visit to the park, joining a senior center activity, baking a recipe you enjoy, listening to music, or picking up a hobby you once loved but haven't touched in years. These little things help your heart remember that life still has color, even after loss. You deserve moments of peace. You deserve moments of comfort. And yes, you deserve moments of joy. Your spouse shared a life with you, not so you would stop living when they were gone, but so you would continue with strength, warmth, and courage. New routines won't erase your grief, but they can gently guide you back into the world, one soft step at a time. Point 6. Don't hold on to guilt. One of the quietest but heaviest burdens older adults carry after losing a spouse is guilt, and it comes in many shapes. Some feel guilty for things they said. Others feel guilty for things they didn't say. Some blame themselves for not noticing a symptom earlier, not pushing for one more doctor visit, or not being able to prevent what happened. And then there's another kind of guilt, the one that shows up months or years later, the guilt of starting to live again. Guilt can become a shadow that follows you everywhere, whispering that you could have done more, loved more, cared more, tried harder. But let me tell you gently, guilt is not a truth. It is a reaction. It is the heart grieving in a way that hurts itself. When you spend decades with someone, your life becomes deeply intertwined. So when they're gone, the mind starts searching for reasons, explanations, or what-ifs, even when nothing could have changed the outcome. You did the best you could with the knowledge, strength, and resources you had at that time. Your spouse knew your love, your intentions, your presence. They weren't keeping score. They weren't counting mistakes. They weren't expecting perfection. They chose you, every day, for a lifetime, and that means something. It means your good outweighed everything else. And please hear this. Feeling moments of happiness is not disloyal. Smiling again is not betrayal. Rebuilding your life is not disrespectful. Laughing at a family gathering doesn't mean you've forgotten. You are allowed to miss your spouse deeply and still enjoy parts of life. Both truths can exist side by side. If guilt is sitting heavy on your chest, talk to someone about it. A friend, a counselor, a pastor, or even a grief support group. Saying it out loud loosens its grip. And remind yourself daily, your spouse would not want you living your remaining years under a cloud of blame. They would want peace for you, comfort for you, a second chance at joy for you. Letting go of guilt doesn't mean letting go of love. It simply means letting your heart heal in the way it deserves. If you're still here with me, I want to take a moment to speak directly to your heart. Losing a spouse is not something you get over. It's something you learn to live with, slowly, quietly, and gently, one small step at a time. And every point we talked about today, whether it was avoiding isolation, taking care of your health, letting yourself be honest, or accepting new routines, comes down to one simple truth. Your life still matters. Even after the worst heartbreak, even after the routines change, even after the silence becomes louder than you ever imagined, you are still here for a reason. Grief may have shaken your world, but it did not erase your worth. It did not take away your wisdom. It did not remove your ability to love, to heal, to help, or to feel joy again. You may move slowly. You may have hard days. You may cry when you least expect it, but that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. It means you loved someone deeply enough that their absence still aches. And that love is nothing to be ashamed of. Remember this. You do not honor your spouse by living in pain. You honor them by living with courage, by trying, by reaching out, by choosing to care for your health, by allowing new routines, by forgiving yourself, by releasing guilt, by taking small steps toward a life that still has meaning, even if it looks different now. And I want you to know you're not walking this road alone. Many people out there, people your age, people in your community, people watching this very video, understand exactly what you're feeling. Lean on them. Let them lean on you. Connection is one of the greatest gifts we still have. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for giving yourself the time to listen, feel, and reflect. If these words brought you even a touch of comfort, clarity, or strength, consider sharing a comment or a like. Your voice might be the very thing that helps someone else find their way through the darkness. You are stronger than you think. You are needed more than you know. And you still have so many reasons to keep moving forward, gently, bravely, and with a heart full of love that never truly leaves.